While you're scrolling, right? Have you ever stopped and contemplated on why you can't stop scrolling through your feeds? Everywhere we go, our eyes are glued to the screens, absorbing like endless streams of information and entertainment. The magic of a content keeps us hooked, making it hard to break free. But why is this so? Before everything, let's try to figure out if you are plugged in first. We could start that by identifying triggers. This could be the first step in breaking free from content to see what triggers you to fire up that app and start mindlessly scrolling in the first place. It might be boredom, or need for distraction, or the habit of checking notifications. When you look into these triggers and you understand them, you can then start to recognize the patterns in your behavior. Now, once you identify the triggers, you need to understand the hook. Now, while you are in the feed, mindlessly scrolling, do you realize you are there? Often we enter this state of flow where time seems to disappear. Recognizing this moment is very crucial. You gotta ask yourself if you can easily come out of it, even if you realize you are hooked. This awareness is the first step towards regaining control. Even when you realize you are spending too much time on a device, you might think, just 5 more minutes, or even 1 more minute. It wouldn't hurt, right? But before you know it, hours have slipped away, and your prioritized tasks are left undone. This leads to a vicious cycle where the feeds take priority over your responsibilities and your own well-being. Now, breaking free of the feed, unplugging yourself. So how do you break out of the feed in the moment? It might sound weird, but sometimes abruptly closing the app is the answer. This is what works for me. Just close it. Give yourself the countdown and close it. Quickly stand up from your comfortable position. I assume you are in a comfortable position while you are browsing your feeds. Then put your phone away from you, maybe in another room or a very far different table. Passively setting reminders about the time spent on apps also works, but stopping it abruptly has worked best for me. The key is to recognize you are in the feed and take immediate action to quit the app. So how do you prevent yourself from overconsumption from the feed? You need to set boundaries. Once you have identified your triggers, setting boundaries becomes crucial. You gotta designate phone-free times, such as during meals or before bed. Like said before, use apps or features in phone that limits screen time. Creating this kind of boundaries will help you start reclaiming your time and focusing on what truly matters. While you set boundaries, you should also be mindful of what and why you consume. Instead of passively doom scrolling or looking into brain rot contents when you don't even realize you're looking into brain rot contents, you can do this by following accounts that inspire, educate, or bring genuine joy to you. Wouldn't you want to gain something out of all that time spent instead of just junk contents? Even though you already know the answer, ask yourself this question: reconnecting with the real world. I'm not joking. Spending less time on screens will help you reconnect with the real world. Engage in hobbies, spend quality time with your loved ones, or simply enjoy nature. Seriously, touching grass helps. Looking at green stuff, taking in fresh air helps. This is something I struggle with, and I'm trying to change that as well. Baby steps, but we can do it. It's not impossible. Building a support system. So whatever I'm talking about until now, breaking free from the feed, obviously it can be challenging. But having a support system helps you a lot. Share your goals with your friends or family who can encourage and hold you accountable. Treat it like an addiction, because it is. Finally, celebrating small wins. Now, if you succeed battling this even a little bit, celebrate your small wins. You deserve it. Each step towards reducing screen time is a victory. Acknowledge your progress and reward yourself for sticking to your goals. Over time, these small victories adds up, and before you realize it, you will start feeling so much better once you reduce the mindless consumption of these never-ending freaking feeds, you know? Yeah. Alright, that's it for this video. Here's hoping this might help you break free from doom scrolling even a little bit. Don't consume if there is no value. Cheers.